Hi, I'm Tanya.
And I'm Ana.
And we're the Paradise Patriots.
We had an awesome day yesterday at the Democratic 4th of July party, I guess we would call it.
At the old
Hawaii's.
It was a good event.
It was awesome.
It felt way more progressive than I had anticipated.
Right. A lot of grassroots people there. So that was good. But then that led me to, I just got to say it. I was happy yesterday and I woke up this morning and I really felt the discrepancy between the grassroots people, the party platform, and what our senators and Congress people are doing.
Yeah, both at the state and national level.
So I wanted to talk about the ramp up.
Let's talk.
Yeah, the ramp up of...
those are great glasses.
Thanks, you like those?
Awesome. You're sparkly with your starfish and your glasses. Yeah, man.
Blinged, I'm a little blinged up.
It's all blinged up.
The ramp up to continuous military buildup.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Right. And that's something that I noticed was kind of absent, except for the one girl that talked about it yesterday at that gathering. This entire buildup of the military was not, there wasn't even an anti-war party there.
Right.
There's no representation for that, and there's no representation for stopping the military.
Wait, the Democratic Party is anti-war?
Weren't they supposed to be?
Well, they used to be.
Well, they should be.
This is not your grandmother's party.
They should be. Oh, well, that's why I left. Hey, four generations of Democrats, and I'm officially out. But anyway.
Well, let's talk about the military buildup and what some of our guys are doing.
So primarily, and I think there's been little press releases about what Brian and Mazie are doing. So I'm going to start with Mazie. And
okay,
I really have to say that I hesitate to, because everybody knows that she's not well, and I don't want to appear to be picking on her. However, the other part of it,
she still got her job, though.
She still has her job, and sometimes you think that when you have those kinds of crises that it would shake something up inside, and you would come to some sort of enlightenment or realization. So maybe this will help that. But so anyway, so there's a few things going on. I'm kind of jumping around all over, but so we'll start with the Navy buildup, right?
Yeah.
Which is the plan of the NDAA, and I know we're going to go into that later, but there's an overarching plan,
right? To
I don't know where the hell this idea came from. We're rebuilding our military. We already
spent from the Heritage Foundation.
57% of our federal budget goes to the military. Less than 1%.
That's for this year, 2017.
Right.
54%, was it?
57%.
57%.
Less than 1% goes to agriculture. And within agriculture is the food stamp program. So this big push to pick on poor people again and make it seem as if,
and make more poor people through war.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Oh, God.
So anyway, so it's we're going to talk about the NDAA 2017-2018 in another video, but we want to say that blueprint came from the Heritage Foundation,
yes,
which is a conservative think tank.
That made $92 million
as a 501c3. And Brian and Mazie are in lockstep with the provisions of this
they're
proposed,
using words and phrases.
Yeah, it's almost like it came right out of
report.
that. And Scott, it's sort of like ALEC when legislation is drafted by these people and just handed to them and say, here it is.
Here's your script.
Yeah. So here's the NDAA for 2017-18. Yeah. We got everything covered. So, and we're going to, as I said, we'll talk about that later, but
they're all related.
And the overarching plan overall is to double the size of the military, basically.
Yes, restore U.S. military strength.
Oh my God!
Because peace comes through strength.
Yes,
this is their
motto.
Apparently.
That's the motto. So how
and restore military power because they don't have enough. I know. Where's the facepalm icon?
And I gotta triple that. Okay, so
and if you're not white, do it 14 times. Because it's gonna come after you more.
Oh my God! No, it's true. That's so true. So here's how we're gonna just talk about our representatives and and progressives and Democrats, you need to get your mind wrapped around this. We're going to talk about what Brian,
get our representatives in line,
what they're doing, and they're in line with a conservative think tank about building the military. As if, where in the hell else could we possibly go? We have how many bases set up? We're in 7 fucking wars already, and now we're cranking up for North Korea and Venezuela.
China, we can go Russia. We can go.
Oh
Venezuela.
my God! Anyway, so here's
150 something countries, honey.
Right, I think we have a base in at least all of them, at least one. But anyway, so Mazie. So here's Mazie's latest thing from June 2nd. The Navy is planning to forward deploy another 3 ships.
This is from her Facebook post?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was in the Star Advertiser, so this is assuming a press release that she's doing. So anyway, so this there's a 3-ship amphibious ready group in the Pacific, a move that will add to highly priced ship-to-shore capacity in the maritime-dominated region, as well as bring more than 4,400 sailors and Marines and millions of dollars in economic impact to wherever the destination is. So Mazie thinks it's a good idea for this to be housed in Hawaii. The strategic location and infrastructure and accessing to training sites are all factors that make Hawaii a strong candidate to host the amphibious ready group Marine unit. Hirono said in an email, while this decision is made by the Department of Defense, she supports shifting additional resources to Hawaii as the Indo-Asian Pacific region continues to produce dynamic challenges to our national security interests. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. She talked about this, but I want to get to the area where she talked about the actual economics of this and what it would actually bring to what it's actually going to bring to our
there we go
island.
So she calls for a balance of military needs with critical domestic
it has problems, but she said programs, but that was a Freudian slip, and you're right. We have so many domestic problems. We do.
Total Freudian slip.
It was, but I know we should write a book like Freudian slip book. Anyway, so under current policy, the Navy plans to base 60% of its ships in the Asian Pacific region. The new total of 355 ships would equate to an estimated increase of 28 ships into this region. So they would require increase in the number of sailors, infrastructure, and the capacity of shipyards. And meeting the needs would, here we go, are you ready? Create new jobs.
They always say that.
Oh my God.
I just want them to just stop saying that.
Stop saying that. And investments in Hawaii, including support to the Pearl Harbor Navy shipyard, and they will play a vital role in keeping the Pacific Fleet ready for action.
So this is big because under the current policy, that's under the current NDAA, the Navy plans to base 60% of its ships in the Asia Pacific region. And the new NDAA is asking for like 3 new ships every year or something insane. Right? They want to just constantly be building and growing.
Right. So she's in full support of the expansion.
3 boats per year.
Yeah. The expansion of the military presence
here in Hawaii
in our islands. So that is her press release.
Does the military have to do like environmental impact studies too when they add?
Actually, they are
ships?
supposed to, but they can claim. And remember, I don't know if you were present in that meeting where the military met with the community.
No.
But anyway, there was, I think I did send you a copy, I'll look for it, of the conversation that was between the Pacific Command and community members where, in the Congress, where one of the congressmen said, well, do you have to do an EIS? And remember?
I do remember that. There's a way around that.
We're supposed to. And then the congressman said, well, we hope there's a way around that. And they said, yes, there is. If it is directly impacting the safety
of and security
of the United States, they can waive that. So there you go. I mean, and the congressman actually suggested.
Right. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So no, they don't have. The answer is no. We've been trying to get a real reading of the depleted uranium for at least 8 years, and you can't even get that. So,
wow.
So that is
so that's Mazie's. Right. So
that's Mazie. She's all
tooting the war horn.
And she is on
These are not your parents' Democrats, folks.
No. And people have to remember she's on the committee for military and security. So I can't remember the name of her. Yeah. Anyway.
It's really hard to remember all this stuff.
It is. So, a ranking member of the Senate Armed Service Sea Power Subcommittees. Yeah. So she's a ranking member.
Oh yeah. So she must have signed this letter that I printed out.
Well, I have to say that when the NDAA, I think it was 2015, when the ability for the military, or the ability to have American citizens picked up and held without prosecution, and not be informed of what they're being charged with, and so forth, and on and on and on. And I called her about that and said, before you sign that, can't you take that provision out of there? And she said no, but we're going to float another bill to stop that.
Well, that never happened.
It never happened. Just letting you know that she knows is my point. She knows because people called and were very upset about that.
That was like NDA 14.
2014 or 15.
Something around there.
Okay, so that's Mazie. Kalamai, I want her to be
bring
better,
more jobs
but
that have to be related to war.
She needs to be primaried. I'm just going to say it. She needs to be primaried. So Brian, here we go. I can't say how many people think Brian is the most progressive creature ever to crawl out of Hawaii.
He's not progressive.
Not at all. So here's Brian's claim to fame regarding the military.
Current one, anyway.
Named top Democrat on military construction, Veteran Affairs, Appropriations Subcommittee. He was named the top Democrat on military construction.
Well, they know how critical Hawaii is for their... Obviously, if they want to increase by 60%, right?
Yeah.
The presence of the Navy just here in the Asia-Pacific area. So they're relying on our guys to expand the business of war here.
Well, yes. So...
that doesn't sound very progressive.
Well, here is what
representing Hawaii's values.
Yeah, I don't know. Duh.
Just reading it off of his website.
I know, representing Hawaii. So here he says, I am committed to ensuring we make the appropriate investments in military construction, training ranges, resiliency, and the sustainment of mission-essential buildings necessary to ensure military readiness while deployed, and that we have the resources to take care of them when they return. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Boy, they sure have a freaking hard time with that. They sure have a hard time taking care of our servicemen when they return.
Before you get into more wars.
Yeah. Because they're still sleeping out on the streets. They're still
the people who are already back and messed up.
I'm still taking hot meals to the guys that are sleeping in the bushes in Waimea. And that man that sits on the side of the road with a cardboard. Right? So I think you're failing on that part, Brian. Maybe Brian should come home and take a ride with us.
Ooh. Brian, come on.
Yeah.
We'll take
before
you around.
You spout off about what you're doing with. Obviously, the trickle down isn't working. But anyway, so resources take care of them when they return. 120,000 veterans call Hawaii home, and in his new role, he will ensure the VA has the funding it needs to fulfill obligations to continue to improve and expand access to quality and timely care for all veterans and their families, including those suffering from the physical and psychological wounds of war. You're failing on that one. I'm just saying it. I'm just going to say it. You're failing. So, anyway, so with 120,000 veterans and 78,000 active duty reserve personnel in Hawaii, Hawaii has a significant relationship with them. And I just want to say, I when I look at our military, I see them all the time coming into our community because they come down from Pohakaloa. They're babies. One of them even have braces on. I have no problem with. I love them. I want them to go home to their families. That's what I really want. They should be getting free education. They shouldn't have to do this to be able to better their lives.
Right.
This should not be the only option. So just so everybody doesn't crawl up my ass that I don't support the military. You don't have military family. I have cousins. I have brothers. I have brother-in-laws. My father served in the military. So I know what I know the deal. I know when family members go to war, what that's like, and I know when they come home damaged.
And they're not taken care of.
Yeah. So that, I don't want to hear that. Anyway, so the last Congress, Schatz steered $640 million for military construction projects across Hawaii, including $74 million to upgrade the electric grid at Kauai's Pacific Missile Range facility, $124 million for a new behavioral health and dental clinic in Schofield Barracks, $122 million to replace a medical dental clinic at Marine Corps Air Station Kaneohe Bay, and $68 million for a new bachelor enlisted quarters at Kaneohe Bay, and $57 million to improve the readiness of the F-22 squadron at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, and $31 million for a new Army National Guard maintenance shop in Hilo. And 5 million people are still homeless in Hawaii. I guess they drove by all of the tents and all of the people.
Those ways.
I guess not. I guess, Brian, when you come home, you don't see that because of all of these millions
of dollars.
Dollars. And I'm not saying the military shouldn't have that, but what about our own people? And
But they're talking about balance. You know what I mean? This is not balance.
This creates further marginalization and disenfranchisement of the people that are already here, that are from here, that have.
And we're basically bringing people from around the country to be trained here
to go and kill other people in other countries,
and they're coming to the state of Aloha to do that.
And
we should be rehabilitating the people after they come out of war, not, I don't know.
Right. Well, and it shouldn't happen anywhere. We shouldn't be training our young people to do that. One of the particular things that really was extremely offensive to me was when the Indonesian army came here and were trained to go to Papua New Guinea and kill the people there. And what is it over? It's over a silver mine. And it's not here. They were trained by our military. They were trained right up in Hakuloa.
We didn't have
Papua.
have anything
Look
to do
up
with
if you don't see the genocide that's happening in Papua, that our military trained them. It's just I'm just disgusted.
And I think
and
there's no end in sight. That's my problem.
We're going to double. Right. We're going to double our military capacity.
Well, and this next NDA for 2018 that they're talking about now has clauses in there to just keep perpetuating, right? So they want 3 boats every year.
And then
forever.
Yeah. And then you've got to look at, wait a minute,
line items for more money, for more warships, constantly.
And, I mean, people, you just look at, okay, we just gave how much money to Taiwan in weapons, billions of dollars. Like,
are you just blanket approving more and more work
people
with
don't
no
get that.
end in sight of how we're really going to bring in peace? It's like this nebulous idea that never actually gets discussed on how it will actually start to occur. How can we actually start to create peace if we're focused on building warships and barracks and behavioral health and dental clinics, which
not that they
should have been built a long time ago.
But it should be, all of our people should be able to go there. The 5,000 people sleeping on the street that don't even have a place to lay their head.
But when you read the documents that lead up to these things, and then we see our representatives,
Brian Schatz and Mazie.
Brian and Mazie. These are not democratic ideals, or they didn't used to be anyway.
No,
they didn't used
to
be.
They're right out of the Heritage Foundation playbook. That's right out of the conservative. It's a conservative think tank that actually wrote basically
There's
the
a
blueprint.
45-page report on preventing a defense crisis. The 2018 National Defense Authorization Act must begin to restore U.S. military strength.
Right, but we hate Trump and we hate the Republicans and all. I mean, Brian's texting 24/7. He's such
a happy tweeter.
The alleged differences between the Democratic and he's always pointing these things out about the Democratic Party. But when it comes to this, the big stuff, the big huge things,
conservative movement is behind it, and corporations, because it is the corporate money.
And Brian is the top. Let's erase Democrat. He's the top military construction guy.
Selling out
Just
Hawaii
take Democrat out of there.
and our natural resources.
selling out a lot more than
And
that.
people.
Our values, our
values.
people, peace, a peaceful world. And really, I would like to understand what the plan is when you're, all right, you just gave $1 billion, or I'm not sure if that the exact amount, to Taiwan, and then you're building up the military
like
in the yes, against China. That's a hotbed of potential war with China when you're arming.
But there's no end to any of this. Where are the visionaries in Congress who are saying, this has to stop. We can't keep approving this. No, that's not coming to my state. It doesn't have to just be Hawaii. A lot of these states have major military bases.
Taiwan doesn't want it.
And these guys should all start saying, no, we are not selling out our state's resources. We are not selling this out for this, because until we have an actual plan for peace. There is no real plan for peace.
I'm digging high and low.
So goes with the whole no-kill movement. We won't get into it here, but this is the same situation.
Primary Brian. Say it with me, Tanya. Primary Brian. Aole to this. No,
this is not okay.
I don't think people really know what the hell's going on with this.
No, I don't think so. The military is so taken over. I mean, really, when you start reading these documents and the Committee on Armed Services letters and all the stuff that goes into the writing of the National Annual Act, the National Defense Act, it's sick. I mean, it starts off, like how horrible the world is, and then what horrible shape our military is in, how we're degraded after 15 years of war, and, cuts by the Obama administration. Well, there was financial cuts, but legally, the ability to be able to surveil and impound people. I mean, there were so many things that were done against domestic, the people here domestically.
Well, and, maybe I can't believe I don't know how the hell they fund 7 wars. We went from 2 to 7.
Well, that's why we're running out of money. That's why they need more money.
Let's stop doing that.
Exactly.
Oh my God!
I don't know when you work for or run a nonprofit. When you start running out of money, you actually start to cut things back. But the military gets to just ask for more money constantly, and now they have a bill here that just wants to perpetuate.
Well, I mean, there's the other little weird little pickup things that you get from reliable sources, or $1 trillion is missing from the Pentagon, and pallets full of cash were missing when they showed up in Afghanistan or whatever. I mean, they're reliable news sources. And
but I bounced a $25 check and it's over.
Oh my God. Turn off my debit card.
Right, exactly. Someone can't pay their, $250 electric bill.
You're done.
You're done. We're cutting you
Boom.
off. But oh my gosh, this is insane. No plan for peace. No plan to stop the expansion. You can't just keep expanding without a plan on where this is really going. And where it's going is complete domination.
It is. That is where it's going.
And it's disgusting.
We're in all continents.
And I say no.
I say hell no.
Hell no.
Close your ears. I say fuck no.
Agreed.
So,
well, Tulsi got in on the...
Oh,
Tulsi.
Right?
Tulsi got in on it, too.
Tulsi. Just think. Here's Tulsi's mana'o on what's happening with North Korea, because we don't even know if that's really true, but allegedly launched another missile thing over the weekend or something like that. And there's a big deal now. What Trump came out and said, that's enough, and he's not going to put up with it anymore. So she did a press release, and she said that the threat between North Korea and the threat that it poses to Hawaii, Alaska, and the mainland United States. I mean, personally, I know people are going to think I'm insane. I don't feel threatened. Do you feel threatened by North Korea? I don't feel threatened. I don't understand. I don't know if that's even real.
More threatened by Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono that they're selling out natural resources and the land here. This is where we live. This is the air we breathe. So I actually do feel more threatened by people who are in power who aren't listening to the people.
Right. Yeah.
This is nebulous. If some nuclear thing comes out of the blue, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
I just
not
don't
that I don't
see
want
it
to stop
happening.
it, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
just don't see it
feel,
happening.
and I meditate on a regular basis. I try to stay in tune. I try to like keep my fears in check. So maybe I'm ignoring something that's real, but I haven't seen anything that's saying that I need to worry about that.
And people who live in Hawaii have to live here with the understanding that because of the excessive military buildup we have here, we do have more nuclear weapons pointed at us than any other land base on the planet. That's because of the presence of the military. So one more nuke, one more or less nuke is like whatever. We've been a target for I don't know how many decades. But anyway, and then the thing with North Korea,
lava floods,
yeah,
you know what I mean, earthquakes,
tsunamis, yeah, whatever.
You know, all of but you know the stuff we can take care of on a day-to-day basis can't be
And a little thing about North Korea that people just do a little research is that actually the Korean War never ended because
ended. Exactly.
We still have a lot of sanctions on them, and so when things happen like the crazy leader gets blamed for starving the people and on, it's like, well, no, we're starving them because of the intensive sanctions. So that's just a little side trip that you can check on your own. But she said that
you're asking for the media to be balanced in their reporting of what's actually happening out there, though.
For the past 15 years, our leaders have left the people of Hawaii and the country down, allowing the situation in North Korea to worsen to this point of crisis where we are left with nothing but bad options. Though we have to ensure that we can defend against North Korea with technology, it's not enough. Here's where why I will always, Tulsi's, just her grounded thinking and her approach to things. We have to pursue diplomatic efforts to de-escalate and ultimately denuclearize North Korea. However, U.S. leaders need to understand that Kim Jong-un maintains a tight grip on their nuclear weapons as a deterrent against regime change. Yeah, let that sink in, because that's true, right? The Trump administration would be far more credible in finding a diplomatic solution if we weren't waging continuous regime change wars in Syria and contemplating another regime change war in Iran. North Korean regime witnessed the regime change wars that the U.S. led in Libya, Iraq, Syria, and fear that they will become like Gaddafi, who after giving up his nuclear weapons program was deposed in a most graphically horrible way, and now the state of Libya is a
complete chaos,
complete failed state disaster. As long as the U.S. is waging regime change wars, we are far less likely to reach a diplomatic solution in North Korea because they have no reason to believe our promises. We are far more likely to see nuclear proliferation by countries like North Korea, who see nuclear weapons as the only deterrent against regime change. Serious diplomacy on the Korean Peninsula will require an end to our regime change wars in Syria and a public statement that the U.S. will not engage in regime change wars in nation building overseas, including Iran and North Korea. We should focus our limited resources on rebuilding our own country and seriously commit ourselves to de-escalating the dangerous standoff with North Korea and negotiate a peaceful diplomatic solution. At least somebody's thinking.
At least somebody's thinking about diplomacy. But Tulsi's more of a diplomat than a politician. I mean,
she's a stateswoman.
I mean, and then you see people like Nikki Haley, right, who's supposed to be very diplomatic and very stateswoman-like, and she's out there tweeting like her boss. Like an insane woman instigating stuff.
At least everybody understands her insanity and they don't take her seriously. Though they should take the threat seriously.
They should take some of it seriously,
But she's not a serious contender.
But thank you, Tulsi, right.
Thank you, Tulsi. Thank you, Tulsi, for the voice of sanity.
And reality.
In a rapidly escalating, dangerous situation that these knuckleheads can't seem to stop throwing fuel on. I
think some of them want this to happen.
Yeah, well, they're covering up something else, but that's another story.
That's a whole nother video.
So, that's our rant. I was ranting.
Oh my God.
Can I help?
That went into a rant. So, that's rant number 1.
Yeah. So, in closing,
I'm Tanya.
And I'm Ana.
And we're the Paradise Patriots.
Primary Brian and Primary Mazie. Aloha.
Aloha.